Hello and welcome to this hands-on lab session where we will first log into the Iam user we had created in our last lab session. Then we will download and install AWS CLI. And finally, we will configure AWS CLI to work with our terminal so that we can issue commands, interact with various AWS services that will be needed in future lab lessons. Great. So this is my account. This is my Iam user. And now we had downloaded a CSV file that had username, password, secret key, and access ID and everything. So I need to fetch the password from here. Okay. Now it will ask me to change the password because, yeah, this is the auto-generated password as of now. Wonderful. So please do the same at your end as well. Okay. Now I'm confirming password change. Please make a note of whatever password you use here. Okay. Wonderful. So now we have logged in. Next step is where we need to download and install the AWS CLI tool. For that, we will follow this AWS document. And this document has all these instructions to install AWS CLI version 1 and version 2. We will install AWS CLI version 2 on Mac OS. And you will find instructions for Windows, Linux, and Docker here. Now, so for Mac OS, these are the two commands that we need to execute. Yes. Now, we need to execute these commands on terminal. Let us open up terminal. Okay. And now the first command. So it is downloading the package. And once the package is downloaded, we can install the package through second command. So I'll pause this video till the time this package is, no, I think it is already downloaded. Yeah. So the second command is already here. It is asking for my password. Here we go. And the installation is going on. The install was successful. Now to confirm that it has actually been installed, AWS CLI, we will see what is the version available with us. And yes, so AWS CLI version 2.1.6 is installed on our Mac OS. Great. Now the next stage is where we will actually configure our terminal to use AWS CLI. That is, suppose we want to know how many S3 buckets are there in our AWS account. And we want to issue some command from our terminal, and through that command, we actually want to make that possible. For that, we need programmatic access. If you remember, when we were actually creating Iam user, it had two kind of accesses. One was programmatic and second was AWS Console Access. So AWS Console Access is already something that we have seen. Now the programmatic access is what we will witness. For that, we need to, so even for this, we have this, so this is the document. We need to do AWS Configure, okay? It should be somewhere here. So I'll share both these links as an attachment to this lesson, okay? All right, so AWS Configure. Great. Let me clear the screen. Okay. Now it is asking for the access ID, access key ID. Now this access key ID is going to be the access key ID of the IAM user through which I actually want to issue all those commands, call all those APIs. Okay. So we have the access key ID. We have downloaded that as well, right? Yes. And now it is asking for AWS secret access key. This is this. And now it is asking for default region. Now the default region in our case is Mumbai. So we need to mention Asia Pacific Mumbai, AP South 1. Okay. AP South 1. This is very important. So whatever APIs call we will make through this terminal using the access key ID and secret access key, they also need this value, that is the region in which we are making this API call. And by default, since we are mentioning it to be AP South 1, so we do not have to keep mentioning it every time we issue a command. That is the advantage. And default output format, just hit enter. And we all set. Indeed. Let us test this. Although on our AWS account, we have nothing set up as of now. But still, let us see if this works. We are not getting any error, which means it is working. In future lessons, when we would create S3 bucket, we can once again issue this command and we'll see what happens. It will list all the S3 buckets. So this is how powerful this is. Okay. Now, something very important that I wanted to bring to your notice is, and that is mentioned in this document, when we do AWS Configure, the access key ID and secret access key is actually stored at a location on your Mac OS. You see, this is the address where config and credentials, two files are created. Let us open these files. First, let us open credentials. It has our access key ID and secret access key. So when we do AWS Configure, it is storing our secret access key and access key ID at a defined location on our Mac OS. It is applicable to any OS that we do. Okay. So for Windows, the location is different. For Linux, location is different, right? Let us see what is there in config rather. So it has the configuration region AP South 1. If we had mentioned the default output format, it would also have been here. So it is an important knowledge to have. That's it, pretty much everything. So I don't think there's anything else that we need to know for the purposes of this course. And not only for this course, at least for using AWS CLI tool, we are good. For issuing commands to make API calls through terminal, we are actually very well placed. And if we understand all these are basic understanding, and they're going to be very helpful when we will be doing some future labs where we'll be making these API calls through terminal. Okay, that's it. Thank you, and looking forward to seeing you in the next lesson.